What is up? World of Matchups is back. Wrapping up the preseason, getting ready for the pigskin to get kicked, finishing off this week with the NFL 32 teams breakdown for the 2022-2023 National Football League season. Today we will break down the Baltimore Ravens, the ruthless Ravens, led by head coach John Harbaugh. Look, this team is all about one thing and one thing only, and that is quarterback Lamar Jackson, an all-world talent who has an MVP who can do so many things on the field. He's like a hybrid player that was created in a lab. We all know what he can do with his legs. We know what he can do and can't do with his arm. I have one serious concern about this team, and this guy is playing this season so far without a long-term deal. Now, I don't know why. That is really risky. He was representing himself to this point. I think he has retained counsel, retained an agent moving into this season, but he has said that there was a drop-dead date that I think is coming, that if he doesn't get a long-term deal, he's playing this season without a contract, which I think is absolutely nuts, because if he gets hurt, he's going to leave him millions of dollars on the table, which makes no sense to me. I would be negotiating hard through preseason to get this deal done. I know he's waiting for the likes of people who like Russell Wilson, who just got paid. You saw Kyler Murray get paid. That kind of skyrockets his value. But I wouldn't wait much longer, man. This is a contact sport where lots of crazy things happen. He can get hurt, and then that would be that. I think it's absolutely nuts to be playing this season without a contract. Now, I watched Lamar closely last year. He can do a lot of special things, but he did not have a Lamar MVP candidate-like year last year. I watched him miss a lot of wide-open throws. The guy can't throw a 5-yard out. When the pocket collapses, you know he's going to take off, which is always risky. And I'm not a big believer in these run-first quarterbacks. When was the last one that won a Super Bowl? You got to be a pocket passer to win in this league. On top of all this, when they drafted this year, they did nothing to help him. I know Devin Duvernay is fast, and they drafted him last year, but he didn't really make much of an impact. They're expecting big things from Rashad Bateman, but if those are your two starting wideouts, you're in trouble. You cannot continue to ask Mark Andrews to be the linchpin for this offense. You just can't do it, especially when you have question marks all over your backfield. I'm kind of concerned about the Ravens. I really am. They don't have the easiest schedule either. After looking at their schedule, I'm going to give them 9 wins. Their coach has balls and likes to go for it a lot. I think that cost them 2 wins last year. And if he continues to roll the dice, it may not always work in his favor. These 2-point conversions, dude, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to galvanize the team, coach, but take the easy points, play another down, win another game. You're rolling craps a lot, and it's kind of problematic, especially when you have an offense that cannot stretch the field. They let Marquise Brown go. I think that was a mistake. Not that they really had any kind of cohesion between him and Lamar, so he's gone. Their backfield's an absolute nightmare. J.K. Dobbins is coming back from a major injury. His status for week 1 is in doubt. Same thing with guys like Justin Hill. They bring in Kenyon Drake. Mike Davis is a bum. They just got a lot of guys. They're just trying to it seems like the Ravens are consistently trying to just fill a stopgap with just a whole bunch of dudes, and it never really seems to work. And not that their division is tough, but the Bengals are better. Steelers will take a step back. The Browns are still the Browns. They call it the black and blue division for a reason. These are tough games that are winnable, but you have to be able to score. Where's the production coming from the Ravens? If Lamar has a down year, I saw Tyler Huntley step in for Lamar last year in a couple games, and he was just as serviceable in my mind. He played well, and he looked great. So maybe the Ravens brass is waiting to see what's going to happen with Lamar. If I'm Lamar, I take the deal. I take whatever deal that they're going to give him right now. They're going to make him the highest paid quarterback. You know what I mean? Just to think Lamar Jackson will be making more than Patrick Mahomes is outrageous. Why would you leave this money on the table right now when you can go out there and get hurt is beyond me. But there's a lot of egos with these guys. Who knows what their agents are saying? I think it's absolutely nuts under the circumstances. They gave him no help. He is going to be running for his life. Ever since they traded Orlando Brown Jr. to the Chiefs, that left tackle is in question. I don't trust Ronnie Stanley as much as I would trust a younger, stronger left tackle. So that was an L they have to hold. Now, conversely, their defense is fantastic. They were banged up last year. They have ballers all over the field. Marcus Peters coming back. If he's 100%, that's a big fat W. They draft Patrick Queen last year, who I wanted for my team. Queen is a stud. Great middle linebacker. I like him. Calais Campbell is great. I mean, they got ballers, man. All over the field. All over the field. The first-round draft pick, strong safety. He's going to be fantastic for them. Look, the defense is going to have to keep them in games because they can't score. And if their running game is not back to what it needs to be, they're going to be in big trouble relying on the likes of these guys that they brought in, these Kenyon Drakes who can't seem to stick on any other team, and then Mike Davis, who everybody thought was going to be the darling of the fantasy world a couple years ago. He was absolute nightmare. Look, I don't think they're going to suck, but I don't think they're going to be a great team. And even if they squeak into the playoffs, which is a possibility, I don't see them doing much of anything. That's a team that always finds a way to blow it at home when they absolutely have to have it. So that's my breakdown on the Ruthless Ravens. Coming in tomorrow, we're going to do the Indianapolis Colts. My name is Dexter Reed. Thanks for the likes, the follows on YouTube, grabit.com, all over social media for all your pertinent National Football League information. And I am out.